Go!
Hello everyone and welcome to tonight's session of Rollout. We have decided on the name, that's it. It's Rollout. Who the fuck's who's he?
Yes, let's go! Ooh.
We almost have all the shadow art done.
Yes.
So you're gonna be seeing a slow transition in all the character icons slowly turning into different character icons. My PS4 just turned itself on and ejected the disc, and now I'm really scared.
This is session 8, baby!
Is session 8? Really?
Yeah.
Like session fucking 20 already.
Because I'm clearly I'm boring you. Oh yeah, we're now level 3, everyone! Yeah! Woo! You can now actually fight a Minotaur!
Yeah.
I'm on round 2.
Okay.
My ass.
Okay, who? You know what? I'll leave it to the audience to decide. As in you three. Who do you want to start with? Where do you want to start?
Well, we ended off with me running away from
Yeah.
me, getting flicked off my fucking wagon. So I feel that's a good cut to plan. We can go to someone else.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Rhys.
We're going to continue with Fulgrim.
I'm trying to think here. I haven't actually planned who's going to come first.
It's not your job.
Okay, no. We'll go for... Okay. I want you all to listen carefully now. Ignore roll 20 at the moment.
Okay.
Leoaver.
Oh.
You were just... Well, what you remember is seeing the crowd cheering, chanting. They're over the bloody moon. They can't believe what they're seeing. And the elf in front of you places a sword through your shoulder. I think. Yes, maybe. And you fall to the floor, lifeless. Now, you wake up for what seems like just a couple of minutes later, very weary, unaware of your surroundings. The noises don't seem to slow down or quieten or anything, but they seem to have changed. It's no longer chanting, it's more screams and shouts and kind of all manner of ghastly noises. As you kind of regain consciousness, you look up and you're on a dirt path surrounded by vast grasslands to either side of you. And as you raise your head forward, you notice that you are at a giant gate. You can tell that this is a very large and thick wall, and it's very not elegant, but well built, I'd say. There doesn't seem to be any guards outside, and the gate has been shut. Now, as you slowly begin to build yourself up and make your way to your feet, you notice behind you there is a mass of people. There is thousands of what can only be described as all manner of soldiers in orange kind of apparel. They don't seem to be moving towards you at the moment, but the castle and these men, they seem to be kind of, well, sharing like catapult thingamajigs and kind of shooting at each other from a range. And as you fully regain consciousness and look that direction, you notice that there is a cart on its side. And there are one horse that is dead and lifeless, and one that is clearly broken a leg and is unable to get up. Now, you also notice two figures laying on the floor in front of it, who've clearly been thrown out by some, Who knows? Now, now, I'm gonna leave it to you.
Okay. Stand up as best I can. Move more into the grassy plains and make my way towards the cart for shelter.
Okay.
That's where I can use my hide action.
So as you approach the cart, you notice that on the floor is a dwarf, and you clearly notice that it is Fulgrim by his apparel and his very, very attractive beard.
Ooh,
And and next next to him, you see quite a large and bluish figure. You notice that it's probably the same size as you, laying face down on the floor.
Shit, did he get even bigger?
I'll leave it to you.
Oh, he's got bigger.
Noticing it's Fulgrim. I'll make my way to him.
Mm-hmm.
Fulgrim.
Now, both are... Well, Fulgrim is clearly unconscious, and
He did.
you can see that the blue figure is kind of twitching its finger very slightly.
Is there a tree next to us?
There is.
I'm gonna drag Fulgrim and lean him up against the tree.
Fuck the goblin.
Okay.
Then I'm gonna come back for the goblin
Oh,
and check back on it. Come back. I'll wake him up.
So as you go to wake him up, he gasps with kind of like, you know, when someone's almost drowned and they kind of gasp for their breath. He takes a big breath and kind of very quickly regains consciousness. Here we go. First voice of the night.
I fucking love it so much. Every time.
Let me quickly practice it. Ganga, you stupid dwarf.
He's gonna have a... Next time he tries to do a voice.
Alright, there we go. So he looks up at you and says, Elf, where are we?
Goblin. I don't know. These fellas don't seem friendly.
So
Can we get out the way?
he takes a quick glance back and he says, They are too close. We must leave now.
No shit.
He kind of...
What's Fulgrim with you?
I don't know. He appeared and... now look where we are.
Come on, we can't sit in this road. I'm gonna kind of make my way to the tree.
Yep. So as you make it, Fulgrim has just started opening his eyes and just is starting to regain consciousness from, well, falling on his head.
Come on, buddy.
Are we
What are you doing?
still outside the city? Ugh. This is a lot of male grunting.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh my god, you're double mark. It's fine. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Sorry, this is just a lot of male grunting. Roleplay. Are we still outside the city?
I think so.
I think this is... What's the fucking name of it? Iska?
Yes.
Yeah, I think this is a scare. Where are they? Where's the fucking army?
Not far off.
Shit. Where the fuck did you come from anyway? You weren't on the cart.
I don't know.
Shit. Right, have you seen, has Rozes appeared? Actually, I'm gonna look around. Is there any other, has anyone else woken up in the middle of the field or anything?
Nope. Gungar has slowly got to his feet, and you notice that
He doesn't have a name, he's Goblin.
you notice that his right leg, there is a bone that is broken, and it's very slightly sticking out.
Right, I'm gonna make my way over to him. And considering Cure Wounds, I'm not entirely sure it fixes bones. Can I attempt a medicine check to try and set it, and then cast Cure Wounds?
As you kind of come over, he says,
No, I do not want your magic. Let us go.
and he kind of hobbles and hops very, very slowly.
Try and prevent him from getting up. It's like, right, I won't use the magic, but I still need to try and set the bone, otherwise you're gonna fucking destroy the thing.
He kind of huffs and...
Fine.
Alright. Shall I make a medicine check?
Yeah, go for it.
Right. Oh, fuck yes. That's 19.
Oh, yeah. So...
Fuck yeah!
You grasp either side of the bone, quickly pull it apart, and snap it straight back in, and it seems to go in fairly perfectly. Gungar, he shrieks a second, but once it's all over, he takes a big breath and...
Oh, maybe you aren't so stupid, dwarf.
I know.
And he kind of nods as if to, like, get on, and he starts to hobble very slowly away.
I'll give him, I've got the chain, so I'll give him my hammer.
Do what? Sorry.
I'll give him the hammer so he can use it as like a walking stick.
He kind of he grabs it, he nods, and he starts to use it.
Lad. Right, come on, Leoaver, let's get going. You're right, bud. Do you need any?
I'm fine.
Are you sure? Because we're pretty banged up. Out of thingy. Are you on 1 HP as well?
I'm on 3 HP.
Oh, okay, so you did better than I am.
You should be on 1 though.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Yes, I am on 1 HP.
Yes, there we go.
Alright, I'm gonna cast my first 2nd level spell without it actually being a 2nd level. So I'm gonna cast Cure Wounds at 2nd level.
Okay.
So that's 2d8.
Yep.
2 seconds. So, Monsieur Leoaver, I'm gonna place my glowy dwarf hand on your. And you gain 14 points.
Holy shit.
Yep, you're welcome. That's 2d8 for you, bitch. There you go. It's alright. Right. Yeah, I thought you said you was fine. Right, let's get going. I'm just gonna keep going after him. Fuck! Just running.
I'm gonna take Fulgrim's arm and kind of carry him and just kind of bring you along with me, buddy.
Yeah, as I say, because I am still on 1 hit point. You don't happen to know Cure Wounds, do you?
I do have a +1 to medicine, though.
That's not how that works.
I can cleric if I want to.
Multi-class.
Okay.
So I'm carrying him.
Right, yeah, we're just making our way towards the door.
Yep.
Is it reachable, the giant gate, or is it like...
What do you mean? Is it walking
How far away is
distance?
the gate to
Oh, it's literally about 100 meters. It's not.
Fantastic. We're fucking hobbling our way there.
Okay.
How far away is the army?
They're probably maybe half a kilometer away.
Right, what's that in English?
Meters.
Yeah.
Okay, right, that's very much in bow and arrow distance. Let's
Yes.
hobble a little faster.
Okay, so you hobble along. Because a kilometer is 1,000. Sorry.
Yeah, to be honest, never mind. That's me being stupid.
So you hobble up to this giant gate, And as you get there, you notice that a man has kind of leant over the edge to get your attention.
Excuse me. Who are you? Who sent you?
Oh, you're having a laugh.
So, do I have a hood over me?
Well, that is up to you. However, you would have.
I remember last session I did have it up when I was hiding, but that got discovered.
Well, honestly, it's up to your discretion because
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I have it up then.
Okay, yeah.
Feeling this surge of energy within me and wanting to look after my friend, I'm going to cast unknowingly, just cast Disguise Self. Change my appearance to that of a human.
Okay, I like that.
I like.
Okay.
I'm gonna say, I have a wounded dwarf.
Oh, it hurts so much. I'm very old.
He's in need of
I'm not a cleric or anything.
Fuck up, Fulgrim.
I'm trying to help.
So he points down and he says,
What is that beast?
I'm not gonna lie, I'm not entirely sure.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm not entirely sure.
okay.
But he helped us in our time of need.
Yeah, he's not a bad guy.
Please let us in, sir. The army's closing in.
He then directly to Leoaver. God's sake. 8 sessions. We only just got that reference.
Excuse me, sir. You ain't an elf, are you?
I'm gonna take down my hood. No.
I'm like middle of saying, yeah.
Take my hood. I'll have human ears now. Thanks to
Yeah.
Do you look
this
any
guy self.
Do you look any different, or just you but human?
Oh yeah, I look different, buddy.
Oh hell yeah!
I've got a full. You remember when I just had a little chin beard? I did have a
Yeah.
little chin beard. Now I've got a full black goatee.
Mhm.
My eyes are now blue. My hair is black and slicked back. Oh, completely different.
So you're looking a bit like a Raven.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Turned into Raven. And Raven's gonna show up.
Challenges.
Okay. So
I'm here to say no, sir. I'm human.
he then shouts back,
Aye.
I'm really surprised.
God bless you. Open the gates.
and the gates begin to lower.
I would have said no if you're an elf.
Now we're going to take ourselves to our young, cute friend, Rozes. That sounds wrong.
Can you please edit onto the screen the picture of him?
Oh yeah, he'll be there.
Is that... Oh,
Man, just
yeah. This doesn't make sense right now because the picture's not ready. But like when you guys see it,
Okay, so Rozes, let me do a quick recap of what you remember. So you've just gone through several trials and all manner of different tests through this strange labyrinth, led by a very mysterious fellow who, well, is quite unexplainable. Now, you've just walked in with Raven, with Fulgrim, with Leoaver, into this giant arena with thousands of people cheering. Now, I'll be honest, okay? I had to play your character for 5 minutes, and I tried my best to guess what you do. Now, I'll tell you what you did. I just didn't want to, click you out of existence just for the sake of it. So, you walked into the arena, and the mysterious man was up in his own little balcony. And basically, the other 3 were wandering around. They were having a look. They were kind of hiding. trying not to be seen. And however, Rozes being the charismatic lad he is, you walked straight up to the balcony and began, shouting at the man, trying to, understand what was going on. And he turns to you and, well, he describes you as his biggest disappointment. And bam, you
Sorry, Rozes.
you leave. You just somehow you just disappear. Now,
Bring your family life into it, but you didn't stop.
now you wake up in a strange place. Now, it's not strange as you've seen it before, like with weird magical stuff. You're in a room,
That's kind of strange.
a dark wooden room with you're laying on a very unstable camp bed covered in straw, and there doesn't seem to be particularly anything of interest in the room apart from a kind of misshapen window to one side. What do you want to do?
What's outside the window? Can I look outside the window?
So you get up and you look out the window, and you notice you're on the second floor of a building, and it's a very rickety wooden building. And as you look out, you see a lot of other very rickety buildings leading down a kind of small, cramped street. And you see several people kind of wandering up and down in this kind of it's a cobblestone road, but it's covered in mud and water, and it's very dirty and grimy in general. As you look kind of above these buildings, you notice that there is one giant tower, a very elegant and pure white with a golden roof to it. And however, you notice that this is quite a way away.
And there's like a door, right, in this room for me to leave.
Yep, you turn around, you notice there is a very kind of, again, misshapen door.
Now we come to one of the questions as old as man itself. Do I walk out the door or do I jump out the window?
What's the most?
I'm gonna wait, is it locked? Let's see if the door is locked, because that'll help me get real fast.
Okay. You walk up to the door, and as you grab the... Oh my god, sorry. As you grab the door handle, it almost falls off. It kind of... You can very much feel its weight kind of falling onto your hand. But as you pull it, it does open with a incredible kind of creak.
Alright. What's around?
So you notice to your left there is a staircase going up and down. Kind of a bit of a spiral stair. It's not a spiral staircase, where it's just like goes up to the right and then goes up again. And then straight ahead of you there is another old rickety door, and to your right there is also two doors opposite each other.
The Skyrim player in me is telling to check every door.
The Skyrim player in me is telling me to take an arrow to the knee.
I hate you.
For God's sake.
What are we calling this episode, guys?
Oh my.
I used to be an adventurer like you.
She's gonna say it.
Thank you for not saying it. Okay, sorry. Where were we? Where were we?
Sorry.
I want to head down the stairs.
Okay.
See if I'm gonna say hello, anybody here? Am I just in this random house alone?
So you don't get a reply.
I
But but then, well, I suppose, did you say you were heading downstairs? You head downstairs, and you notice there's you go straight down, and there's 2 doors to your left, 1 to your right, and then there's a kind of a open space where you would see the other door, and then there's a door which you can kind of see is slightly ajar, which clearly goes out into the street.
I'm gonna just go out into the street.
Okay. As you walk up to the door, you hear a voice. God, let me think. So as you go to kind of grab the handle, from your right, where this open space was, you hear a woman's voice.
Oh.
Excuse me, love. Don't forget to sign out.
What?
Write your name here. She kind of points at this bit of paper. She's sat at a desk. It's nicer than the rest of the building, but it's not great. And she's kind of sat on this chair with lots of papers piled up everywhere, and she's got these tiny little glasses on the front of her face. She's a human, probably about kind of mid-30s. She's your typical librarian-looking person.
Like real librarian or anime?
I would say a kind of mix of both. Like she's not some just old lady. She's quite she's what you describe as cute. There.
Describe as what? Sorry.
Cute.
Y'all gonna make me act up. No, but let's see. I'm gonna ask her. Okay, I'm gonna walk up to her. I'm gonna be like, what is this building?
Well, you're...
Oh God, I can't do that voice. I can do one girl's voice, and that's hello, how are you? That's literally it. That's why there's like no women in this thing. How would you do a woman's voice?
We just lost the 3 subscribers.
I don't know how to do a female voice.
But then I took an arrow to me.
Ah, you just give me a great idea.
Hello?
Hello. All right, that'll be the voice. That'll do.
Hello. What kind of shit? Well-oiled machine, guys.
Oh, jeez, I'm actually really stuck right now. I don't know what to do.
Right, we'll give you a minute. Go practice.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Go practice a voice.
Hello, my lovely. So, what can I do for you today? So, hello, what can I do for you today? So, welcome. Hello. Oh. Oh. So, I am... You're in a store for a lot of good. I think I might got it. No, I haven't got it at all, but that'll do. So, you asked where you were. Correct. You are in the Magpie Inn and Tavern. You can tell that common is not her first language, to say the least.
You can tell she's using a different voice towards you. She sounds like an old lady now. She sounds hot.
Oh, why? Thank you.
It's them foreign girls, man. I'm telling you.
Huh.
Okay, but bigger question here. Where is this building? I have no idea where I am.
Well, you are obviously in, Iska. Or, what? I mean, you are in the Ragtail district, but I do not know what you mean.
You said I had to sign out, right?
Yes.
Implying that I ever signed in.
Yes, you did. Last night, you walk in here, you pay your 1 gold piece, and you go upstairs. No questions asked.
Is this the Hangover?
This has been a hell of a night. Okay.
You seemed fairly together. I've seen people in much worse conditions and still remember everything.
Interesting. Okay.
Oh, don't forget to tell your friend that he needs to return the what I can't think of the word
Right, just think of what the word means.
I can't think of what the word means because I don't actually have the word in my brain. This is DMing at its worst, okay, peoples.
It's okay. I mean, I've literally not to brag, but I've literally never been this bad. But it happens to everyone.
You had the flags on you the one time.
Not to be that guy, but
Oh, okay. Let me restart that phrase. Sorry.
Let's restart the whole session.
So she looks up at you and she says, "Oh, and don't forget to tell your friend that he needs to pick up his." She kind of smiles and giggles slightly and looks at you and says, "His sword." And then she just,
What is that supposed to mean?
and then she just gets back and starts writing again.
Why is everything so cryptic? What friend?
What do you mean? You walk in here with man in strange mask, and he hand me his sword, I presume?
And she kind of she leans down under a desk and picks up an object. Now it is a metal pipe with a wooden handle at the end, you'd say. Now you kind of recognize this as a similar sort of weapon that you saw on a certain gold-masked man earlier. You know, the bounty hunter type.
Yeah.
did you just give Rozes a gun?
No.
Yes, I'll get that right to it.
As you reach your hand out, she quickly snatches it away and places it under a desk.
Sorry, my phone went off.
No, he gave strict instructions to not leave you with it. I am very sorry.
What a tease. I'll be like, it's not your fault, ma'am. but I have my money, right?
Rozes is
Yeah. Oh,
Okay. I'm gonna be like,
yeah.
how much gold pieces would it take to make you bend the rules a little bit?
Well, 100. She gives you this very direct and straight answer. Like she was thinking of it, but she really knew exactly what she was going to say.
Fuck. Well, okay, plan B. I'm gonna cast on person.
Okay, go for it.
And I pray that this works. I forget how to do that. Let's see. Spells, charm person. I have to read this. Wait, what do I? Oh yeah. Yeah. How does this work?
Charm person.
Do you not know?
You say a certain something and you attempt to charm them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to make a wisdom saving
Want to
throw.
get you in my bed.
Oh no! Please don't use that. No. That's bad. That's unconsensual.
I'm gonna say, well, he is my friend, and he's probably just trying to make my day a little more difficult. You know how friends are with their pranks and whatnot. So it'd just be a lot easier if you just hand it over, and I'll get it right to him.
So wait, does she automatically, fall under it, or does she have to do a
No,
saving throw? Or
You attempt to charm a humanoid you can see with range. It must make a wisdom saving throw and does so with advantage when fighting it, which is not. If it fails the saving throw, it's charmed. So basically, it has to make a wisdom saving throw against his spell save DC.
okay,
You know what that is?
13.
13. Cool. Ooh!
Congrats.
Did I just get a fucking gun?
So you ask for it, and she looks up to you. I suppose there is no harm in letting you hold it for a while. And she kind of reaches out and hands it to you.
Quick notes, by the way. The charmed creature regards you as a friendly acquaintance. When the spell ends, the creature knows it was charmed.
How long does it last?
It lasts for 1 hour.
Okay.
Basically, a charmed creature can't attack the charmer, and the person who charmed it has advantage on any any checks to interact socially with it. So
Mhm.
persuasion, deception.
Ooh.
So congratulations.
Rozes got the wiki.
Yeah.
Who the fuck's ideal? Who's fucking ideal is to give a gun?
Okay, so
Eldritch Blast! Boom!
I didn't think I'd get this far. I didn't think of what to do if it worked.
I do want you to know you have absolutely no idea how this thing works. You've just been given to your brain. You've seen it work. You've seen it been used in action, but to you, it is just kind of a pipe. It is just kind of a metal pipe with some little metal bits sticking out and a wooden handle. But you'd under.
Alright, I'm gonna put my hand on her hand, be like, thanks, love. I'll see you around, and I'm gonna leave.
She kind of blushes, and as you turn, she goes, "You don't forget to sign out." And she
Make that out of
she
noise.
ooh. She hands you the pen.
I'm
She
gonna
hands
sign
the
out.
pen that she had in her
and
mouth.
I'll put it in.
Hey, it was not her mouth.
She starts sucking on it. She's looking at you. She pushes it all the way down. And go,
No, this is not canon.
Yes, it is, Dylan.
Oh
Is
god.
it doing in the video?
Look at me.
Oh my.
Mustard.
Okay, so she gives you the pen.
Look at me.
Oh, the quill. Sorry.
Look at me. I have been charmed now.
So
I'm
pop the
assign my
button.
minion
Okay.
to a heart.
So wait, what do you write down?
I put. Did I put roses? I mean, fuck it. I'm gonna put roses, but the O is a heart.
Ah.
Oh,
Ah. He's so wholesome.
so much. Put the picture.
Oh my god. Okay. Yeah. Go ahead.
Rose is literally the best of us.
I don't know.
He's the cutest of us.
He's so cool. I want
Rose
to be
is so
Roses. Right, no idea. Kill off our characters. I want to play Roses.
Everyone is right. I like
This guy's self again. And just be Roses.
that. Okay. Roses.
We're all
What?
Roses, but we're all in Sailor Moon outfit.
Fuck. Oh dear. Roses, what are you gonna do?
I'm heading outside. I'm gonna walk around until I find something that's neat. That's so vague, but
Okay.
That's wicked, dude.
You walk outside, and within 2 seconds, you notice something. And well, first of all, you walk out and you notice there's quite a few people, walking back and forwards, and all sorts of manner of things, typical daily activities. But everyone seems a bit, flustered. They're all very much in a rush, and you also notice the sky. It's quite dark for what. Well, your body clock is telling you it's like kind of 10 a.m. that sort of time. So it's morning, but it's late morning. However, the sky seems very dark, and it almost has a slight red tint to it. And as you look down the street on your left, you notice a figure dressed mainly in black and with his signature gold mask,
oh fuck.
looking across at you in the street. No one is kind of paying any attention to him,
You've got
noticing him. And yeah, he's just kind of standing there looking over to you. And he kind of lifts his right hand very slowly and kind of acknowledges that you should come closer.
I'll walk closer.
Okay. How
I'll be like,
right up to him, or
Huh?
how close? How close are we saying?
I'm gonna just walk like like 3 arms lengths away. But while I'm walking up, I'm gonna wave and be like, "What's up, man? Long time no see."
So he doesn't respond until you've stopped in front of him, and he kind of rubs his fingers on the brim of his top hat, and he begins to talk. Rozes, it's good to see you again.
I wasn't expecting that.
draw. Shoot the gun.
I'm gonna be like, so you wanna tell me what happened last night? I'm kind of used to forgetting my night, but I'd like to know this one.
Well.
Cute, you're so sweet.
Damn, he doesn't even need to make a seduction check. I am seduced.
The Lord sends his regards, and
That sounded like a question. Does he?
You really don't remember?
Sorry to disappoint you, but I don't.
I mean, you did have quite a lot of that. What is it you tieflings do? What drug do what drug do tieflings do?
What drugs do tieflings do?
Or drink, or very alcoholic drink. I should know this.
Yes,
Yes.
Tieflings and more. What do people do in the world?
Tiefling drugs.
So Just spice from
I want my D&D character to smoke and do drugs when he gets upset. That's the top thing.
That's my entire character.
What are some from the game? How do they affect? Oh my god. Jesus Christ. Okay. I'm just gonna say, basically, you have this kind of tea, this special tea, and it does just do like there's no point in me describing the effects. Basically, it makes you less likely to remember. You wouldn't have literally forgotten everything, but it kind of messes with your brain a lot, and you know you have a good time. That's what we can say.
So I was off
The Lord, he gave you some of that tea, that
Oh shit, will we die?
that green shit you fucking weird asses drink. I don't.
No.
I mean, you do know what he's talking about, though. Is what, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the boo.
It's fucking Big Les show. Do you even fucking exhale? What are you talking about? When you smoke, do you even exhale? I don't think I understand the question. How long have you been smoking for? 48 years. How old are you? 52. Jesus Christ, you're gonna fucking die. You're gonna get punched with a long dick of cancer. Anyway, continue.
Where were we?
Sorry, I just started thinking about Big Les.
Talking about the booth that tieflings.
Oh yes.
I was just found out I was drugged. So.
This time it wasn't your choice.
What would Rozes say upon finding out he's in drugs?
May I add, by a bounty hunter which has been trying to kill him for the last several days.
Well, weeks.
That's a lot to consider.
That is a lot to consider. Okay, so Rose is gonna say.
Charm
"Yo, what
person
the
version.
fuck?"
Wait, what was that? Sorry.
Rose is gonna be like, yeah. So I'm gonna put I'm not close enough, and I don't want to get close enough, so I'm not gonna touch him. But I'm gonna be like, if you wanted to spend the night, you're gonna have to drug me, you know. And I'm like,
I love this man.
So kind of he kind of nods his head a little bit, and he says, "Well, I mean, it was your choice. You found a man, tiefling man, and he offered you some, I don't know, green liquid, and you guzzled that shit. It was your choice.
Clyde the zombie bounty hunter is so chill.
I took nothing. You listen. Okay, we're buddies now. Buddies now. He's clearly kind of making a joke, but it's not funny. Like yeah. He's trying to joke around with you, but he clearly does not understand how people speak.
On account of the fact that he's undead.
I'm gonna give a pity laugh. Okay, so I'm like, what brings you around here? I imagine we're here for a reason.
The Lord sent me to look after you, as well. You can't. He doesn't trust you.
Why wouldn't he trust me?
You failed all of his tests. Badly.
What did I say about bringing the family stuff into this?
Badly.
You sound like his
I
dad.
thought I passed everything.
He kind of he moves a little bit closer, and he rests his hand on your shoulder, and you notice his hand is very heavy. It's quite strange. You don't. It feels normal, but at the same time, it feels unnaturally heavy for his size. And he says to you, "Now, listen. You were given a test. What was it? 2 people trying to get married, some fucking weird shit like that. And how did it end up? You ran out of the room. This couple, they were massacred. You call that a pass?"
I got out the room.
That ain't the point. He kind of takes another step back.
Oh well, what are you gonna do about it?
So as you say this, a little boy runs up to the pair of you.
Sorry, I don't know that one.
I just chat myself.
just sorry, and I was like, what the fuck?
That was Alexa. Yeah, a little boy, really rough, and he's really dirty. Comes up to you with a paper, and the both of you, and he says, "Sirs, please have the paper." Just 1 silver piece for you, sir. Just for you.
I'm get a piece of paper.
Yes, sir.
Green.
It may be the last we ever print.
Wait, it's like a paper with words.
Yeah, it's. He said this, but it's kind of it is just. Like just a like a poster, just with whatever's happened, just handwritten on it.
This is like the shittest town crier.
It's really scruffy as well. Like it's quite from what you notice, it's quite in. What's the word? You just can't. It'd be hard to read.
Episode 8. Rozes punches a child.
I'm gonna toss him a silver piece and be like, "Yeah, bro, you can keep the paper. It's fine."
Okay. Well,
go swindle someone else with it.
He kind of slaps the paper down on your chest and says, "No worries, sir. Hey, fancy a tip?" And he kind of puts his hand. He kind of takes. He has this little cap on. He takes it off and he kind of shakes it in front of you as if to kind of ask you for more money.
I'm too good of a person for this. I thought them another
Struggles.
Wait, what do you do? Sorry.
I toss him another silver piece.
Okay. He kind of doesn't stop shaking his hat, and so he's kind of looking up to you, and then all of a sudden, the golden mask man, he kind of puts his hand on the kid's head, and he just pushes him, and this kid fully just falls over and slides across the ground a meter. He's been pushed with a lot of force, but no one around seems to really care. And the kid gets up, quickly scrounges together his 2 silver pieces and runs off. And you don't know. You haven't heard. You don't know the others know his name, but you don't know his name.
Oh. Okay, I'm like, look, man. Sometimes when you think about doing things, you shouldn't.
He looks up at you and he kind of he just doesn't move. He doesn't have any facial expressions because he has a mask on, but you can tell he's kind of just sighing under his breath. Listen, give me that thing back. He nods to the thingy in your hand that the woman has just given you.
Please say no. Please say no.
Okay, I'm gonna be like, last time you had this, you tried to murder us.
he sighs and says, if I wanted to kill you, do you really think you'd still be alive? I serve the gods, and the gods have got a special plan for you.
What if you taught me how to use it? Huh?
He kind of
Man has the biggest balls.
he kind of tilts his head slightly and says, "Fine, one shot."
Oh shit!
Wait, what do you say?
One shot. And he kind of puts his hand out as if, and kind of grabs the gun and attempts to pull it away from you. Do you let him?
Yes.
Okay. He takes the gun, and out of his pocket he pulls a small kind of metal ball, and you notice him do this kind of weird hand trickery where he's clicking all different pieces of this weapon around, and he places the ball inside of it and then clicks it back, and then you hear a sudden quite a loud click, and he says, "It's loaded, just try not to hit anyone." And he hands it back to you.
This fucking works.
Didn't even need to fucking. Didn't even fucking control a person.
Okay, I'm gonna point it at him.
Oh my god!
Okay. He doesn't move. He doesn't flinch.
Oh wow, he's so cool. I was just gonna say that. I'm probably
He's so cool. Face.
I'm like, no, I was just kidding. And I'm gonna turn. What's around? What's something that I could shoot and it wouldn't make anyone mad?
You are in the middle of a city right now.
Well, the street is kind of busy, but you could very easily get a shot off at, I don't know, a bin, not a bin, just like a pile of rubbish. There's all sorts of bottles laying around, and
A bin, and the object beginning with B. And boy.
just someone say, "Boy, Chuck."
Like, you can't even see him, but he's still like. Like, fucking cross maps him.
I'm gonna try to shoot like a bottle or something in the garbage.
Okay. Go ahead. Roll.
Wait, roll what?
Okay. So, how are you gonna attempt to do this? You've seen him, how he holds it. You've seen how he uses it. You just blatantly copy his style.
Yeah, man. Like I don't have any other reference.
Yeah. Okay. So you know, I'm gonna make you do first of all an intelligence check.
You said what?
Can you do an intelligence check just to see if you kind of recall how he did it, and you know. Okay, so
Alrighty.
you pick it up and you place it on your shoulder as you know you saw him do it, and he kind of shakes his head at you, and he grabs the end of the barrel and he flips it upside down, so that the trigger is now facing the ground. You had it upside down. And he shakes his head and kind of lifts it up and props it in your shoulder and places your hands where they should be, and then says, "Listen, just hit the bottle, pull that trigger there, and get ready for some noise."
He's really teaching me how to shoot. I didn't think this was gonna work.
And are you gonna just take the shot?
Yeah.
Okay, roll for that.
All right. 20.
Ooh.
Close enough.
So you take the shot. It's incredibly loud. You don't expect that much of a noise. Everyone around you just suddenly like jumps back. They all kind of scream and look at you. And however,
shit.
As you see kind of the small amount of smoke clear from the gun, you see that the bottle is no more. The bottle is in is in several pieces laying on the floor, and there is a clear path where everyone's kind of like scurried back and are very shocked by what's just happened very clearly.
I'm gonna give
Ah,
the
that
man
shooting
a
still
hug.
exists in this country yet.
Jesus.
I mean, everyone seems to be like taking it pretty well. And somebody's going.
I mean, they are all very scared, but there's no one, jumping at you or making any moves.
Somebody fucking jumps you.
Someone pulls out their Glock. Brr, brr.
I guess Glock 90.
I'm gonna give the masked man a hug. And I'm like, yo, I did it.
So you give him a hug, and you notice his body is very hard. Like, it's
What?
very... Is that another gun, or are you just happy to see me? Like, his actual physical body is very...
Fucking campaign.
Very...
Rose is just thinking in his head, "Huh, you look pretty hard."
It's very, you feel it's very dense. You're not quite sure what to make of it. He doesn't move to, hug back. He doesn't push you away. He just kind of stands there, very straight.
He was fucking fucked up zombie face, wasn't
He,
he? When I bashed it off his face, he didn't have like a nose.
what you saw was skin stretched across something, and it was all kind of disfigured, and you weren't quite sure what to make of it.
Sorry, I just thought of it, so I've thrown up.
Uh,
I'm trying to throw up for roleplay purposes.
Mom, I don't have an eating disorder. It's for roleplay.
So as you kind of hug him, you hear behind you a man shout, "Hey! What was all this commotion?" And as you turn around, you see it's a group of 6 kind of castle guards. And there's a few people kind of whispering and pointing over to you.
What is this? Consequences for my actions? I'm gonna look at the dude with the mask, and I'm like, it looks like I have to go. Feel free to join me, and then I'm gonna just hit feet. I'm running. I do have to go.
Yeah. So as you go to run past him, he kind of just puts his hand out, and you just run straight into his hand, and his hand does not move an inch. You kind of find yourself almost clotheslined by this man. He grabs you by the scuff. This is the masked man.
Yeah.
He grabs you by the scruff of the neck, and looks. He comes very close to you, and he says, "Listen, just follow my lead, and you'll be better than fine." He grabs the gun and tries to pull it away. You.
Yeah, fine. He can have it.
Okay.
It's science.
So he takes it away, and the guards kind of walk up to you, and they say, "What's going on? What's happened? Who are you?" And he walks forward, and he says, "Now, I don't think I need to introduce myself. But this man right here needs to see the new king, whatever the fuck they call him these days." And he kind of taps on your back and pushes you forward a bit. He then walks forward himself again, and to the guard he says, "By the way, I think the owl's got it." And He then turns back to you and says, good luck, kid. Don't be taking too much of that tea you have. I'll see you very soon. And taps you on the back, and he begins to walk away with his gun.
Fuck. That's not what I thought he was gonna do, and I have no idea what he actually did. But while he's walking away, what's a nickname? What's a nickname I could give him? I don't have his real name. I'm gonna call him Goldilocks.
he just blatantly ignores you and carries on walking. And the guards don't seem to kind of be confused at all.
Okay, so what's going on now?
So the guards then come, like, kind of like surround you and kind of lead you in. They're not like arresting you or anything. They're just kind of this way, sir. And they are kind of addressing you as sir, and they're being quite polite in a way. And you hear them muttering to each other. Oh, fucking gold masky. He thinks he knows it all because of who he knows, but I got my money on the eagle. And they're all kind of muttering to each other. And come on, this way to the keep. And they lead you. Did you want to say something? Sorry, while you're.
I'm gonna be like, so what's going on?
The main guy. So there's 5 guys that they're all dressed in kind of bluey steel armor, and the one at the front, he has kind of a couple of gold trims to his armor, not much, but you can tell he's kind of in charge. And he turns around and says, "What? You didn't hear the news?"
I mean, yeah, but what news did you hear?
So he reaches out and, still in your hands, he grabs the bit of paper and he reads it. God bless his soul. The lion is dead. We find ourselves in a sticky situation. The owl, the crow. Who knows who's going to be in charge, and the eagle is nowhere to be seen. And he hits his chest twice and goes, "All hail the lion, the true king." And they keep walking.
That didn't answer much of my question.
You're welcome to carry on asking. Go for it.
Okay, so I'm gonna be like, if the king is dead, who am I going to see? I thought you were taking me.
Well, you clearly aren't too up to date on local news, so I suppose, you're not from here, are you?
No, sir.
Well, he repeats himself again. God bless his soul. The lion, the king, is dead. Killed in his sleep.
So I'm talking to a fucking NPC. Oh, wait.
Killed in his sleep by trickery. Some magic, and God bless his soul. Now his 3 sons. The owl, the eagle, the crow. The eagle captured by the Central Supremacy somewhere. Oh my God, he would have been the best leader. A great man indeed. But the people's champion, the owl, he doesn't want the crown, and he's the youngest anyway. The eagle, he's rightful heir, but the crow, a wicked, torturous man. And no one quite knows if he is even the king's son. He's born of some fiend, probably. And he says this, but then he realizes you're a tiefling, and he goes, "Oh, my bad."
More racist.
But you can tell he doesn't mean anything bad about it. So that leaves us here with two brothers, a poor leader who's proclaimed himself king, and a great man who refuses to be king, with their superior brother overseas, lost. And we take you to the crow.
Okay.
Okay. And they lead you off to a much more nicer district. Now, Fulgrim and Leoaver,
Hello.
you have entered into. Sorry.
Everyone in that city seems quite calm. Fucking attack.
Yes, you're not wrong. So you walk into the walls, and there's a lot of frantic people, running about. They're all kind of shouting and screaming, and they're not quite sure on what to do. And as you wander in, everyone kind of makes a pathway because they are very fixated on Gungar. But you aren't greeted by anyone. There's kind of a guard at the gate who just kind of pushes you into the crowd, and the crowd kind of
my last hit.
and the crowd kind of slightly disperses to kind of let you through because they're very confused on what this human-size goblin is. You hear a few people say, "Is it an orc?" And some say, "It's the spawn of demons."
It's none of that. It's none of that. I think it's a goblin.
You hear Gunga kind of very lightly growl at like the crowd. He's not happy with where he
That's
is.
the point, actually. Gungar, are you a goblin?
For a man on his last legs on one hit point, he's like, "Hey, Gunga."
I'm not unconscious yet. I'm on my last legs, but my vocal cords didn't take a beating.
Gunga was a goblin, but Gunga change.
Well, oh shit! You're now taller than me. I think you're nearly taller than Leoaver, the human. The human.
My name is Leoaver, and I am a human.
Look at his non-pointy ears.
Look at my madly human ears.
Look how round they are.
Look, aren't they lovely? Oh, I think you should wash more, buddy. Fuck off.
What?
Sorry.
No, please, you guys carry on. Where were we?
Like, when did you start changing? I was just talking to him as we walked the street.
Gunga change when he leave home.
Do you know what it is that changed you?
While they're talking, I'm just going to shout to the crowd. Has anyone seen a doctor?
they're all kind of very much keeping their distance, and they don't answer you at all. But Gungar replies,
Gunga knows, but
and he kind of trails off and doesn't finish his sentence.
I'm not gonna force it out of you. Right, we should probably like find somewhere to say fucking nap, but I feel like something's about to go down.
Doctor!
That's the point. Does anyone here actually fucking know if they're about to be attacked?
You don't. I don't know.
I was merely talking to Lee about that.
Oh, sorry.
I think they do, Fulgrim. Given how they're running about, I think Gungar's distracting them from
I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure I wouldn't really be giving a shit about Gungar if I was about to take a cannonball to the fucking deck. Is there... I'll be alright, I can fucking cure the wounds myself, I just need a nap. And yeah, I'll be alright. Are there any guards around or anything?
Funny you should say that. As you're looking around, out of the crowd in front of you, you see 8 very strapping young men. All fully butt naked, no. No, they're all quite tall men. They are taller than Leoaver. And they're all in this quite bluish steel armor. They all have these blue capes with a lot of gold trim on their armor. And they walk straight up to you and say, straight up to Fulgrim specifically. Fulgrim.
Wait, what? Hello? Is this the guard? The guard.
Yes, the guard at the front. The guard at the front came up to you and said, Fulgrim.
What does he look like?
He's a very tall, strapping young man. Blonde hair, blue eyes.
Ah, an Aryan, such as myself. Get that.
Jeez.
Lie. Right, do I recognize him?
No.
Shit. That's even worse. Pleasure to meet you, sir.
He puts out his hand and he grasps your hand very, very tight and he kind of shakes it.
Shake that back.
Okay. You're not quite able to, match.
I'm doing an emotion.
You're not able to quite match up due to your weakness from your one HP and,
Biceps are
just
too straight.
generally not being this massive man. He is a sight to behold. Even so he then looks over to Leoaver. You must be Leoaver.
Leoaver the human. I've heard of him.
You are.
My name is Vittorius of the King's Guard.
Sorry, very quickly. Does he actually recognize me as Leoaver? Because you look like a human at the moment.
You do look like a human, yes. You do look like a human. He recognizes you.
What?
Excuse me?
Don't like.
And then
Sorry, carry on.
he then looks over to Gungar. Beast.
Hey, he doesn't name. He's Gungar.
You must all follow me.
Ah, shit. He doesn't sound really friendly.
And he turns around and the rest of his guard kind of surrounds you as if to push the crowd back. And you begin to march forth.
Got our own private escort.
Any
Get Fulgrim in AA.
Now, I'll be alright, Leoaver.
they
One HP.
they do match your pace.
I've got a 19 armor.
He doesn't have any armor class. Okay.
Would you like to do anything during your journey?
I'd like to murder every single guard. Sorry.
So you see yourself walking towards a centralized area, a very elegant, large structures. That shebang.
So we're like walking towards like a castle.
Yes, the main, yeah,
Okay.
where you imagine the king would live, or queen.
For important reasons, I will go. Hang on. Why are you taking us towards what I assume is where the kings live?
You are Fulgrim and Leoaver, and you have been called to us by the gods.
Like,
Well,
oh, wait.
not
Any god in particular?
the gods. The gods' speaker. Please
Is
follow.
that who that is?
Did you say that in character?
Yeah.
They don't reply.
Okay.
They don't really know what you're talking about.
Okay. Out of character, everything just clicked into place.
Yeah.
I'm suddenly less confused, yet also more confused. I'm so scared right now. I'm constantly scared, dude.
Okay. About halfway through your walk, as you're being, ushered
I'm
along.
just trying to like map out the path, by the way. Kind of just
Yes.
get a hold of like where we're going. Kind of
Yeah.
like, memorize the track?
You see yourself walk through all manner of districts. You see, first of all, you walked into like kind of the opening district, was quite an open area where there was lots of people. You've since been in, quieter areas, not as well, structured areas, very, sturdy structured areas, all different types of trades you've seen. And about halfway across your journey, very distantly in the crowd, you notice a gold sparkle. And you see that familiar gold mask kind of walk behind many people, and he glances at you and then proceeds to walk away.
I am going to grip my chain very tightly.
Okay.
Not like that man. In my last experience, did not go very well. Wait, did he say he disappeared?
No, he doesn't like disappear, but he just walks off into the crowd. Like.
Yeah, I'm making sure to keep an eye on him.
Okay. So you watch him.
Yeah, I'm watching. I'm fucking watching with serious intent.
The man at the front, without looking around, he says, "Clyde won't be a problem here."
I don't know. Clyde seems to be a problem wherever he goes.
Problem when we met.
I've known this man 2 days, and I do not.
But however, he does not say anything, and you continue your journey. Is there anything you wish to?
His name is Clyde for a fucking bounty hunter.
Bounty hunter zombie.
Bounty hunter zombie, more specifically.
Yeah,
Do you know that? I'm talking to the guards, by the way.
Okay.
No, he's a fucking. He's not. He's undead.
He laughs. I think you have the wrong idea.
I don't know. I bashed his mask off. He doesn't have a nose.
He doesn't have many things.
Oh.
That wasn't meant to be sexual, can I just say?
No, I didn't take it sexual. I just assumed.
I'm sad.
In order to be, undead, you must first be alive. Clyde is
How that works, yeah.
never been alive. Oh.
So he's like Frankenstein. That doesn't exist in this universe. I'm still gonna try to turn undead on him later.
Is there anything else you'd like to do during your journey?
Nope.
Okay.
Just looking at the crowd, seeing how they're reacting to what's going on.
Everyone kind of seems very fixated on Gungar and very confused as to what he is. No one's seen anything like this. They're kind of
The invasion.
not that bothered about you two. You hear the odd person kind of shouting like about special treatment. They're like, "Where's our escort? Save us!" and all that kind of stuff. But everyone's kind of, as you walk past, people seem to just like go quiet and just stand there and stare in awe of Gungar.
No mind to them.
Gungar
Keep going.
does not care for humans.
And he for the first time, he kind of looks at you and he does this like really very, very slight like grimace.
I know the
Wow, that was a nice moment.
Moving on.
Okay, okay. So you arrive at this second gate, and when you notice to the right, you notice, in front of you, you see kind of this wall of guards kind of pushing back a very, very dense crowd that all seem to be trying to get into this central district. Now,
Heavy chainmail. I'm sweating my tits.
now they kind of part the crowd, and you're able to walk through. And as you walk through, you notice there, standing in front of you, is a couple of guards and a young tiefling, a very attractive tiefling by the name of Rozes.
I just need to ask a quick question. Is he extremely cute?
He is extremely cute. Uwu.
Fantastic. Put the picture back on the screen.
Yeah.
That's the only visual we're allowed for this entire episode.
Yes, yes. That's all you're getting.
Thank you. I'm actually looking at it right now.
Okay, alright. Come on, lads.
It's not getting weird. It's adorable.
Onward with the roleplay.
This is roleplay.
Oh, God.
Sorry, guys. I just wrote some pop right to the microphone.
I see Rose on my Roses drop Fulgrim. Just
Ah, fuck my ribs. Jesus.
oh shit, sorry.
Medic! I put the wrong word.
drops the cleric. Medic. That
Wait.
was the medic. Fuck. I expect to see you, Roses. Kind of vanished on us.
Yeah, you kind of like Thanos snapped you out of existence.
Oh shit, Fulgrim. Just pick him up.
Thank you.
Well, I didn't even know what it was, so I definitely wasn't expecting to see you guys. But I saw Goldilocks.
What the? Yeah, I saw him walking. Apparently, it won't be a problem. I'm just gonna pull on the chain a little bit. It's like I'm still ready for him.
Yeah, all in all, he's a pretty chill guy. He taught me how to shoot that thing.
Wait, you actually had a conversation with him?
Well, yeah, I saw him, and I didn't know anyone else.
Wait, hang on. He let you shoot the boomstick.
Yeah.
Lucky bastard. Hang on, actually, that's the point. How did you get here?
I woke up in an inn, but apparently, me and Goldilocks walked here together. From what
Wait.
I could piece up.
Wait. So you woke up in a comfortable bed, and I had to wake up back on the cart with the goblin. And get
Comfortable, assuming.
I got blown up.
Well, we're not here to talk about how it works.
No. I'm not saying it's your fault, but I think there's a bit of favoritism going on for somebody who was deemed the biggest failure. No offense.
None taken.
You-
Does seem backward.
You do notice that Roses doesn't have any of his stuff, really. I did forget to mention that. You had your clothes and your money, but that was kind of it.
All right, okay,
Yeah,
fine. You don't seem to have any shit. That's alright. You're looking particularly cute, by the way.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you very much. I'm gonna stroke my beard. Oh, woo.
Jesus Christ.
I turn to the captain of the guard and say, what's the meaning of bringing us all together then?
There was an idea to bring together a remarkable group of people.
Oh, wait, could you please repeat that? Sorry. My
Oh, sorry.
my brain is frazzled.
Let's go. So what's the meaning of bringing us all together then?
It is
Job?
it is what I was instructed to do, and I carry out my instructions thoroughly for the king.
Congratulations, you did very well.
I do not ask questions.
Who will we meet?
You will meet the king.
The king?
Yes. He's a very blunt and, emotionless man, this person. He's not very
I will look at him and be like, yes. Human king. Fulgrim and be like, why are we seeing the king?
Yeah, why are we seeing the king? The human king. Why is
Such a
human
dynamic
Leoaver
duo.
seeing the human king?
Dynamic
Very
duo.
indeed.
he looks to Fulgrim.
Hello.
The king's speaker has seen you and wishes for you to meet the king.
Wait, so the king's speaker is more powerful than the king himself?
Did you say that in character?
No? Probably treason.
Okay.
No, I did not say that in character.
Okay, that's fine. Just check it.
It was just the accent.
Okay.
Write Fulgrim down.
What, on the mud floor?
I mean, while you're doing this, the gates are starting to open.
Oh shit, I have my fucking ribs!
Come. We must meet him with haste. We have little time. And
Gotta do what the king says, I guess.
and he gestures for you to follow him into the next courtyard.
He's like, you leave. I don't know, you have a lot in common.
There can only be one.
So
Sorry.
he leads you down this white brick road. The setting has very much changed. Before it was just, your typical city. There's certain rundown bits and there's certain nicely built bits. But it's all kind of, roughly equal. Here, everything is incredibly, it's all bright whites, dark oranges, and gold. And it's all very, very clean. So you walk across a white brick pathway, and either side of the pathway is this pond. And the water, it's incredibly still for kind of what's going on. And as the gates shut, you notice that the sound of the crowd becomes incredibly muffled. It's almost quite hard to hear what's going on outside. And they lead you across this pathway to this very tall building, which you've seen, walking up. It looks a bit, just for reference, kind of like a cathedral. And it has these giant white steps that lead up to this golden door. And they lead you up these steps, and the man, he opens the door and gestures for you to walk in.
I shall do so.
Okay, so you all walk into this giant open spaced room. There's lots of gold, lots of red, lots of white. And straight ahead of you, you see a very large golden throne. There is many guards. You would say there's probably 20 guards, all dressed in kind of the same clothes as the man before, so very blue and gold. And apart from that, there's a couple of servants kind of walking around dressed in kind of all white, carrying all manner of things, and no one seems to kind of pay too much attention.
Oh, quick question. What kind of armor are the city guards kind of wearing?
It looks to you, it's kind of this blue tinted steel, from what you'd describe. Well, what it looks like.
Is it like plate armor?
Yes, yeah.
Oh shit.
Yes.
They're all wearing heavy fucking armor.
They are some big. They're all very big as well. They're all probably at least 6'6".
Wait, fuck.
They're all very, very tall. Very tall and very strong.
I think they might be taller than me.
So
Go for the knee.
so as you kind of walk in awe of this place, Vittorius, he walks past you and he gestures you to follow him towards the throne, where there is a man sitting. So he's quite a pale human with long dark hair, slightly greasy. He has this just typical black leather clothing with some gold trim on it, and what catches your eye the most is his cape. Now, across his shoulders, he has these very, very puffy shoulders with lots of kind of black feathers, and the cape is very long. It kind of protrudes under him, and if he was standing up with it, it would probably be like, I don't know, it would probably drag 10 foot behind him. It's kind of twirled down across the white stairs. He's in very much a contrast to the rest of the room. He looks quite Just from looks, he looks quite twisted, but he's not scarred or he just this facial expressions are very scrutinous, if that's a word. And Vittorius gestures for you to go towards him.
What's the kind of obviously I don't know a lot about this place in particular, but what's kind of like the general custom when addressing royal? Do you get down on one knee or bow? Or...
It would, to your knowledge, it would be to walk up to him, and just kind of maybe within 10 feet and kind of bow the knee and kind of put your head down. That kind of typical. Okay. The other boys? Rozes, please go ahead, sorry.
What?
What was that, sorry? What was that, sorry?
Rozes is going to do the same thing.
Okay.
What's Gremlin Goblin Man doing?
He's looking around very confused, but you notice that one of the guards has kind of grasped his shoulder quite hard. He's not being gestured to go forward like you guys. Leoaver, what was the... Okay. So you all bow the knee, and you hear this man kind of... That's him. That's what he kind of clears his throat, and he rests his hand forward. And as you look up, you notice this giant gemstone ring, and he kind of acknowledges. He kind of nods his head at it.
Oh no! I assume he wants us to kiss it.
I don't know.
It's gonna be so awkward if you try it. And I don't want to misread the situation.
I'm gonna whisper to Fulgrim.
Hang on, wait, can I make an insight check on the king just to see if that's the intention?
Yep.
Thank fuck. So I don't want to start kissing his hand and he's like, oh, what the fuck?
He gets arrested.
22.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yes. That his intention is for you to kind of come over, kiss it.
I assumed.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. I shall do so.
Okay. Other boys?
I'm gonna brush my beard on his hand a little.
Nice.
Rozes has no issues.
Okay. Okay. Leoaver?
When I
Oh.
I'm gonna look at Leoaver. I'm like, I'll kiss it one for you two, alright? And I was like, that was for Leoaver.
What Leoaver? What are you gonna do of this? He fixates his eyes on you and just kind of clears his throat again and gestures to it. He's very kind of relaxed and kind of slumping very much in his chair. Okay. Okay. So once you all kind of take a step back, he does this very kind of twisted grimace, and he lifts both of his hands very slowly and claps twice before going back to his slumped, relaxed pose. And from your right, you notice there is a door. It's not a hidden door, but it's kind of, you wouldn't notice it very easily. And it opens very loudly, and out comes a guard holding a chain. The man in the chair then says, "Meet, sir, my speaker." And the man tugs the guard tugs the chain and pulls this other man into light. it's a very still figure, a man very slumped again and staring at the floor very lifelessly. Rozes, Leoaver, you look at this man and you see, well, a very dirty, scarred, twisted, tortured, lifeless jester. And Fulgrim, you see a man you recognize from the trials.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Does he have the scar?
What scar?
The one where because he slit his own throat. I healed it, but was there a scar or anything? Like
You notice many scars across this man's body, and as
you said it was my fault. Wait.
as you inspect his throat, you notice there is a large gash across his neck. He's very lifeless, but he just very slightly lifts his head, looks at Fulgrim, and proceeds to drop his head again. And that is where we're going to end this episode, people!
That was good. That was good. I like that. That's a good stage. That's a good stage. It was. I enjoyed that.
Hell yes. Hell yes. Woo!
No combat. I'm not dead. Please don't try and pickpocket the king.
Alright, who's doing the outro? Someone do an outro. We need outros.
Well, guys, that was tonight's episode of Rollout. We hope you all enjoyed. And we'll see you all hopefully. Wait, did you stub your toe?
Oh, that's a bit hard to me. Oh.
Yes. What an ending. Thank you.